Welcome to season 2 of Unmute Yourself. I'm your host, Jennifer Carter, and I'm so glad you're here. This season, we're diving even deeper into stories of courage, clarity, and what it takes to build a life that fits you. These conversations are about the women who said yes to adventure, whether that meant starting something new, taking a risk, or finally trusting their own voice. And I can't think of a better guest to start this season with than someone who's literally helping women do just that. Get out of their comfort zones and into the wild. My guest today is Carrie Gregg, the founder of Girls Only Adventure Trips, or GOAT, a community-driven travel and adventure company that empowers women to explore the outdoors, build confidence, and connect through shared adventure. What started as a simple idea to get more women outside has grown into a thriving movement of weekend warriors, trailblazers, and new friends who trade comfort zones for mountain views. By day, Carrie serves as Vice President of Strategic Initiatives at Ministry Brands, where she spent over a decade leading major projects, driving innovation, and shaping company culture as one of their earliest employees. And by night and on the weekend, she's hiking, planning her next GOAT getaway, and reminding women that adventure isn't just for vacations, it's for life. Carrie believes that adventure is a catalyst for courage, creativity, and connection. And she is living proof that you don't have to choose between professional success and personal joy. You can climb both. Carrie, welcome to Unmute Yourself and to season 2.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I've been so looking forward to this conversation. We have a mutual friend, and I feel like I know you, and I've heard about your trips, and I just can't wait for you to tell our listeners. So let's just dive right in and start with your why. What inspired you to start Girls Only Adventure Trips?
Yeah, it's a great question. I have spent most of my life working a job like everybody else. And, you just get so burnt out from screens and to-do lists and meetings and Zoom and all the things. And I just was looking for a new way to kind of burn off steam and do different things. My husband and I just moved to Utah a couple of years ago. And so starting to get into the hiking scene and getting outside. I mean, we live like a mile from the mountains, which is great. And so started to do some hiking. One of my neighbors told me about a local hike here called Mount Timpanogos. It's like 15 miles round trip, like 4,500 feet of elevation gain. I was like, I'm going to do it. I don't know how. I've never trained for something like this. I don't know what to do. But I invited some friends to come and join me. And those two friends did not know each other, but they knew me. And so they came out here to Salt Lake, stayed at my house. We did this hike together. It was just a phenomenal experience. And I thought, this is exactly what we need as women to like step away from our daily life of all the things and get outside and push each other, have fun. It's almost like being a kid again. Just laughing and playing outside. And that's really what motivated me to start GOAT was creating this community of women that just want to have fun outside.
Now, did you ever imagine that it would grow into such a movement? I know, weren't you just featured on like a morning news
Yeah.
segment and your brand is just growing and I see your posts and your hikes. So how has it changed from your initial intention?
Yeah, when I first started this, I created one trip to southern Utah, and our mutual friend came on that trip. In fact, she was the first one that signed up. But when I posted it online, I thought to myself, like, nobody's going to sign up for this. People don't know what I'm capable of. I don't even know what I'm capable of, right? And, I've never planned a group trip with other people. I've only ever planned trips for me and my husband. And most of the time, we just look at Google Maps and like find a spot and go. Like we don't really plan anything. But this was for 7 other women, and those spots filled up almost instantly, which was shocking to me. And again, they were all women who didn't know each other or maybe only knew one other person. And so that was just a really cool experience and trying to launch another one of those and just as kind of snowballed. But beyond the trips, I thought I've got to do something local here to Salt Lake because I'm going to run out of friends very quickly who want to come on like a multi-day trip adventure. And so I remember my first hike that I hosted here in Salt Lake, and I had like no social media presence. I barely just created a website, and I just started posting on TikTok and Instagram, like, we're going to go do this hike. And I had like pre-made a whole bunch of videos about what to bring on a hike and how to prepare and here's how much water you need. Like just very random like educational tidbits. In fact, those videos are pretty terrible content-wise.
Hey, but
Uh
you did it.
I mean, you have to start somewhere, and,
Right.
so please don't scroll back and look at those.
I
Uh,
absolutely will scroll back, but keep
right.
going.
And so I was putting out all these videos, just, like, trying to get more followers, like, people to be interested in what I was doing, and my first hike, I had 6 women, from around Salt Lake sign up. Only 2 of them I knew. One was one of my neighbors, one was another friend I'd been hanging out with, and the other women had heard about it from other friends who would see me on TikTok, and it was, like, very random. But they showed up, like, they paid me $20
Right?
showed
Here we
up,
go.
like with no credentials. And they were like, yeah, let's go do this. And 2 of those girls are now some of my best friends. We hang out all the time. We go to plays and shows and all of the like we just built some really strong relationships. But I just remember thinking in that first hike, I really hope these women don't murder me. Um,
Right. You're
in
like,
the
"Help
woods.
me."
But they were also thinking the same thing. So it worked out well for all of
Right.
us. We're
Like a
still
bunch of
alive.
strangers in the forest or the mountain. I know, it's all good. It's strangers in the forest or mountains, like, "Where are you going? What's gonna happen? What are we doing here?" But it's more than just a hike, right?
Yeah.
So, tell our listeners, like, what was the moment when you realized you were building something bigger than a hike or a little getaway?
Yeah. Well, first of all, those girls that came on the first hike kept showing up. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm onto something. Women are craving this. They want to get away from their children, from
Yes.
their husbands, from their partners, from their lives. Like, even if it's just for an hour on a short and easy hike, just to be able to get away, to decompress. Like, I really do think there's something special about mountain air. Like, I don't know what they put in these outdoors. I don't know
Uh-huh,
if you've
uh-huh.
heard
Right,
that
right.
sound from like TikTok. But like there's something like just resetting about going outside and just breathing in fresh mountain air and just getting these women together and you're walking single file down a trail and you're not looking at each other face to face. So it kind of eliminates the awkwardness of like, tell me about your life.
Carrie, tell me your deepest, darkest secrets. What's going on with you right now? Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
just like walking, you're thinking about where you're gonna put your feet and then you're just talking. And I usually have a backlog of questions, usually ranging from like, how was your day to if you were on your deathbed, what 3 things would bring you back to life, kind of
Oh,
thing.
that's a good question.
Yeah, and so just kind of think through like what's going to get people talking. And so just really try to build a community around who are you? Like what can I help you with? How can we, become friends or what kind of friend are you looking for? Maybe it's her over there, and just really kind of partnering people together and learning about each other's lives while we're experiencing the outdoors.
Holy cow. So you are not only building like an opportunity for physical fitness and health, but it sounds like an opportunity for deeper connection.
Yeah, with each other, with the outside. It's always fascinating to me because I get probably 50% of the women that show up each hike are new. And we always go around the circle before we start. Everybody hates this, right? Of like, say your name, where you live, and kind of what you do, whatever. And I always ask them to say like one fun fact or unfun fact, something, right, about yourself that will kind of spur connection. And it's always interesting to see. There's one girl that hikes with us, and she has a 100-pound tortoise,
I love
and
that.
every
I love
she
that.
she loves fun facts. And if she's listening, hi Angie. She loves to talk about her tortoise, and so I love that she brings this up because every time everyone's like, what? They're fascinated. And then we spend like 30 minutes talking about her tortoise, like as we're walking down the trail, and someone's got their own reptile or whatever,
Who
right?
knows?
You never know what's happening. But just new friendships get formed. Someone might be going through a rocky divorce and just need somebody to listen. That's not their therapist going to tell them what to do. It's not a friend or someone who knows their family. It's just an unbiased opinion, just someone to listen and someone to ramble on to.
It sounds like we listen and we don't judge.
For sure.
For sure. I love that's so cool. And so I know you how old is Go? How long has this been around, did you say?
So the LLC is official as of August 1st, 2024.
Woohoo! So
So a little over a year.
That's awesome, and
Yeah.
you've built this alongside a thriving corporate career.
Yes.
So whenever I talk to women like, "Oh, I don't have time. I'm not doing this. I don't know how to post content. Nobody's going to want this." You said you didn't have credentials. You didn't know how to make the early content. You just went out and did it. So how did you find the courage to say, "You know what? I'm just going to do something while keeping my corporate career. I'm going to do something that is meaningful to me." Like, where did that
Yeah.
courage come from?
Well, this was also before ChatGPT was a thing. So
Right,
even
right, right.
even more stressful trying to think of your own ideas, before a computer helps you. But I remember, I still work a day job, and just thinking back to those kind of early days and times of like, I need some sort of creative outlet that's not just going to the gym and walking on a treadmill or watching TV after work or going to a bar and getting a drink. Like I need something to keep my mind busy that's not like project management. I mean, this is project management, but like,
But it's a
that's not
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
something fun that I'm interested in that like gets my creative juices flowing in a way that I've like never really done before. And so, like you said, I didn't know how to start this. And some days I still don't know what I'm doing.
You
But,
never do, right.
I sat down and made a plan. And even just last night, I hosted an Instagram live to talk about our 2026 adventures that we're launching. And, I spent weeks and weeks just plotting things out on a calendar and then thinking, well, that's not going to work because that's Memorial Day, or, just all the logistics and things that go into it. It's been really fun to think creatively around what's a themed hike series we could do. Or last year, I started Alpine Swim Club. And so,
What is
uh,
that? It sounds
so
cold, but exciting.
yeah, so Alpine Swim Club is we carpool together to a trailhead. We hike to an alpine lake, swim, cold plunge, whatever, and then hike back. And that's it. But
And
it's
that's it.
fun. Yeah.
It sounds fun.
But I thought it was a creative idea, and it was a way to try new hikes in the area that we hadn't gone to before. But a lot of it is just, again, sitting down and thinking, like, what do I want to go do?
Yeah,
And how can I make it interesting enough that people want to come with me?
sure.
Um, and so whether it's a creative name for the adventure, or like there's some cool or flashy component like swag, or like the end result, the overlook or the swimming part, or, what's going to make it interesting to people to want to come and check it out. And then just kind of think creatively into how do I talk about this and get people interested.
You had said you don't know what you're doing, but it seems to me you absolutely know what you're doing. You're like, "No." And I get it, right? Like, you don't know what you're doing, you try a bunch of things. Like, how do you keep the creativity flowing
Yeah, I
when you
think
might feel stuck?
this is where my corporate background helps a little bit. So I work for a company that's owned by private equity, and we pivot a lot. It's just kind of the nature of the business, right? It's very fast paced. And so I'm very used to working on a project for 50, 60% and then pivoting to something else,
Yep.
and just learning how to not get my feelings hurt in that process. Because one, it wasn't my decision. And two, like that's just what we do. We move on to the next thing, right? And so kind of similar here, like if I get halfway down the field with something and like nobody's responding to the TikTok or the Instagram or the email, like there's no
Buzz.
communication.
Yeah.
Yeah, if like it's just not resonating with people, then I'm like, okay,
You won.
like just move
Wah,
on.
wah. Try
I
something
had
else.
well, and I had last year I hosted one hike in April. One girl showed up, and shout out my tortoise friend Angie.
Yeah, Angie.
She's a believer. But she was the only one who registered for this hike. And I mean, it's nothing special about it. And I called her and I said, hey, look, you're the only one who signed up for this. I'm happy to cancel. Like, it's Saturday and it's an hour drive from here. So, like, if you want to go do something else with your day, you will not hurt my feelings because I could do other things too. But I'm still willing to go if you want to go. And she said, oh, yeah, I want to go. And I'm like, all right. So we went, we did it, we had a great time. But, if she would have said, no, I'm not interested, no skin off my back, right? Like I can just go
Yeah.
do some other things.
It's not about you.
Yeah.
It's not about you. It just it happens and you try I think this is what they call like failing fast and not being afraid of failure. Because it's not failure, it's just learning.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not everything is going to resonate. Like I don't have a background in adventure travel other than taking my own trips,
Yeah.
I don't have a career in travel planning. I don't have a background in uh, owning a business. Like, I'm learning things daily, and people call me out for stuff on Instagram, and they're like, "Hey, you're supposed to be doing this way," and I'm like,
Oh,
"All
am I?
right, thanks for telling me."
Yeah. See you
you
later.
know,
Bye. Yeah, right? So
thanks.
so I've heard you say adventure is a catalyst for courage. What do you mean by that? And, like, how have you seen it play out in the women who join your trips?
Yeah, I think, for me personally, adventure being the catalyst for courage, like sometimes it's really hard to step out of your comfort zone. Like, I am terrified of heights. Like,
Me too. I won't.
terrified.
Yeah, don't make me. Okay, keep going.
Like, well, I guess selective terrified of heights.
Okay.
Like a chairlift and things like that, I'm okay with because you're connected to something.
Okay. That makes
Um,
sense.
but sometimes, like, hiking on a ridge that's really exposed, like, that's really scary to me.
Yeah.
And, taking this step, like, kind of selfishly when I create some of these adventures, I'm, like, forcing myself to face my own fears and to push myself because 'cause I'm like, "Can't embarrass myself in front of 15 other women," like, "I'm the boss, I gotta be good." And so it kind of forces me into, that unnatural level of courage to say, "Follow me, like, I know what I'm doing," even though I definitely don't. And I think it's the same for others too who are facing other fears, whether it be swimming in an alpine lake, like that's scary for some people, or walking along a ridge line, or riding in a hot air balloon, or,
Oh my gosh.
even just showing up is sometimes scary, like not knowing who's going to be there, how other women might react or respond to you. Um, like we all have our weird flag, and some people just are scared to show theirs. And it's just showing up, being a part of it, just trying. Once you do one thing, then it's like, okay, I can do the next thing. Let me sign up for the next difficult height, or let me sign up for the next thing that's in the air that might be
Mhm.
scary, right? And it kind of keeps you going because once you do one thing and you see that you can do it without dying, then you're willing to do it again.
We're gonna survive. We didn't
Yeah,
plummet. Yes.
desensitization, right?
So when you like, because you've probably had hundreds of women on your hikes, hundreds and hundreds of women on your hikes. What do you see happen when women are stepping into that space that challenges them, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, while they're in nature?
Yeah, everyone is a little bit different, and it's been really fun to watch. Like, I'm not a therapist or a licensed counselor. Like, I don't read people for a living. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. And it's always interesting to me to see how different people respond. We did a very difficult hike a couple weeks ago, and half the group kind of shuts down in the last 5 miles. Right? They're just like totally burnt out. They're exhausted. They're just like heads down, blinders on, like
Mhm.
get there. Right?
One foot
Like
in front of
just
the other.
don't talk about it, don't talk to me, like, I just have to focus and, like, get it done. Then you've got a handful of girls who are just, like, whining and complaining the whole time
That would
in
be
a
me.
positive way, right? Like,
Yeah, like, I don't
"I don't
wanna
wanna
do it.
do this, like, my legs
Carrie,
hurt."
will you carry me, Carrie?
"Yes, can you put more
Please,
water in your backpack? It's too heavy."
please. Yes.
And then you have those girls, and then there's kind of this group in the middle that's like, "Yeah, things hurt," and I'm trying to focus, but I also need to take my mind off of this, so let me tell you a story, and then it's me, really.
You keep them all together.
Just
Yeah.
keep talking, right? And like, how can we take our minds off this? Like, what are you guys gonna have for dinner? Who's ordering Taco Bell?
Me. Yeah.
Just like trying to keep push through. So it's just like a wide range of heads down focus all the way to like screaming, crying, throwing up on the other end of the spectrum. And so I'm learning, like, I manage people in my corporate job, but managing people in a very stressful, maybe life threatening situation is also scary because you have to be able to be calm for them and kind of keep realistic expectations of like what's happening in the surroundings, and hey, that thunderstorm does not look so good, but
Right.
we're going to get down, or I have a way out, like I have a satellite communication device or whatever, like if we need help, just trying to stay calm, trying to keep everybody else calm, and we're going to live.
I love that you said, like, you're the one, the leader, you have to stay calm so other people don't, freak out and make sure you're prepared. How has this experience leading GOAT changed how you lead in your corporate job, if at all?
That's a good question. I think it's made me a calmer individual, mainly because it has given me that creative outlet to where I can like funnel energy and like that creative like pent up like I gotta do something, into something on the side to where when I do come back to my corporate job, I'm not like built up with angst of like I haven't been able to run today or
Right.
haven't been able to get outside. Like I've had that kind of mental dumping over here to where I can come back and stay focused, get stuff done, um, and then lead people the way that I need to at my day job. So every day is a little bit different, but I do feel like it has helped me kind of stay more balanced between the two.
Yeah, and it sounds like, it's a lot of work, but does it feel like work? Does it energize you? Like, how do you find time for all of this?
I don't have kids. So
She's like, "Well, let me tell you."
let's just be very
Let
realistic for your audience. Like I have people that clean my house, right? Like
Right, right.
I'm in a position where I have a really great job. My husband has a really great job. We don't have children. And so I do have a little bit more free time than maybe
Mhm.
other women my age that do have kids or other situations that they have to deal with. So I do want to be really honest about that. Um, but yes, goat takes a lot of time. um,
Right.
because I am the one woman show. Like I'm managing the accounting books, like I'm putting together the marketing plan, I'm executing the marketing plan, I'm then planning the trips and then leading the trips and sending out follow-up emails and checking the weather and packing my backpack and all the things, right?
All the things.
And I think the job that I have now, they know I do this, so it's not a surprise. But it's balanced in a way to where the goat job doesn't require like an 8 to 5
Mhm.
job. So like I literally can focus on my corporate job during the day, do what I need to do there, and then afternoons, evenings, weekends, that's when the magic happens for goat. And there's sometimes during the week like on Monday I filmed a TV segment and I had to take a little bit of time off of work to go do that, but it doesn't eat up my normal day-to-day job to where
Right.
it doesn't get in the way or become a distraction.
Yeah, it sounds like too, you having Go in addition to your, executive career gives you, more balance, freedom, energy, and makes you better in your day job because you have that outlet.
Yeah, it feels very fulfilling. I mean, it's the equivalent of people going to church or like doing some
Right.
community service. Like you feel really good when you're done, right? To where then you can give more into other things because your cup is full, right?
Yeah.
Versus like if you're just sad all the time, like
Time to
maybe it's
make the
harder,
donuts. Groundhog's Day. Let's do this again. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
So what boundaries have you learned to hold to protect your time and energy and creativity?
Yeah, boundaries are hard for me.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
because I'm definitely a yes person and like want to say yes to all the opportunities, all the things. I want to meet all the people, do all the adventures, get all the things. Even in my professional life, I'm like, yes, like what do you need done? I'm your girl, like we're gonna make it happen. But I do find like having a really good support system is helpful. So my husband helps me with a lot of things. I have some friends that are willing to help like bounce ideas off of and just make sure things don't like sound weird right, for,
Right.
goat and stuff like that, but, I think a good support system, um, and then just knowing when to say no, which is the hard part. So there'll be some weekends, like this coming weekend, I have nothing planned, which is very unusual for me. I know.
Yeah.
And, just, like, sitting down thinking in my head, "Well, I could be doing XYZ, like, let me go ahead and plan out, like, my next series of TikTok videos, and I can go ahead and record them," and I'll think about all this in my head, and then I'll wake up Saturday morning and go,
Meh.
I'm gonna sleep until 8, and then we'll figure something out,
Right.
and, like, still find a way to get it all done, but just knowing, like, when your body's tired, when your mind's tired, like, you have to take a break. You can't just
Yeah.
burn the candle at both ends forever.
Right. Because otherwise, nobody ends up in any good situation, right? You're a
Right, then you
little
lose both
cranky,
things. Right.
all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested too. Like you had mentioned, you've made a lot of friends on the trail and through Goat. How do you see connections forming differently, if at all, on the trail versus at work or in, like, even a coffee shop?
Yeah, I think, it's more natural, one, because you're doing something that you're already interested in, so therefore the other people that are with you are also semi-interested in it, and then those list of questions obviously help just like get people talking. And it feels more natural because again, you're not like sitting across from someone
Right.
at a dinner place like going, what'd you do today? Like who's
I
that?
know.
It's like, oh, my feet hurt. Oh, my feet hurt too. What shoes do you use? And then it just kind of
Right.
like evolves into like a further conversation. You're kind of bonding over not trauma, right? But bonding over the experience of, what you're experiencing together.
Wow. Well, so for women listening who are feeling stuck in a routine, right? Every day feels the same. They go to work, they get the kids, they make dinner, they do the laundry, they go to bed, and then they wake up and do it all over again, right? One day is the same as the next. So for women who might be craving something more, what's one first step they could take to find their own version of adventure?
Well, you can sign up at girlsonlyadventuretips.com.
Come
No,
on,
just come
because you
join.
do day hikes and you do big
Mhm.
trips, right? Okay.
Yeah, we do day hikes, hiking happy hours, and then multi-day trips as well. Um, but in all seriousness, like please do come and sign up. It'd be so fun. But finding your own adventure is as simple as just walking outside. Like schedule something, whether it's a Saturday or there's a Tuesday night that nothing is happening, find a group on TikTok or Instagram. I mean, I see posts all the time. There's like girls who walk together. Um, there's girls I just saw one, I don't know if you've heard of this called Wealth Walks.
No?
It's like executive women who kind of meet together, network, and then just like walk the block. No. Which sounds really cool.
That does.
So there's like a variety of things out there, and it doesn't have to be climbing a mountain. I'm kind of spoiled because I am so close to the mountains, but if you're in Texas or Florida or wherever, like adventure is everywhere. You just have to go find it. Um, and I'm sure there's someone in your town that's willing to go with you,
Oh, it's so
or
cool.
call me and I'll go.
Right? Come on, Carrie. Come
Yeah,
on to Texas. Here we go.
let's do it.
Um, oh my gosh, our time is flying by. And so I do have some quick fire questions for you.
Okay.
Okay. So just answer with the first thing that comes to mind. Oh, this one's fun. Okay. What's a bold idea you've had recently that scares you just enough to try it?
Ooh, a helicopter ride.
You're going to do it?
I don't know. I've planned it for goats, so I kind of have to.
Have to. Okay. You can do it. That's a good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could unmute one topic people aren't talking about enough, what would it be?
Think this is very niche, but saving our public land.
That is very niche.
I know. I don't
And
think
that's
people are
not
talking
talked
about
about.
this enough.
They're not. No, they're not talking about it.
Especially like outside of places like Utah, Colorado, like outside of the West Coast. I don't think people are talking about this nearly enough.
Mm-hmm. I see a future episode on this. Okay.
Yeah,
Good, good, good. Okay.
let's do it.
Yeah. What's one small daily habit that's had a big impact on your mindset?
Making my bed every morning?
Okay.
I don't
If
know.
listeners could take, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. If listeners could take one action, not just an idea, like after hearing this, what should it be?
Just do it. Whatever it is that scares you, try it. All that can happen is something or someone says no, and you can pivot and try something else. But just
And it's
try.
not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Okay, last quick question. What's one word that captures who you're becoming right now? I know.
Can I say 2 words?
I'll allow it.
Or um, maybe more bolder,
Boulder.
maybe 1 word, bolder.
Boulder. Like it.
Not a rock, just to be clear.
Not a rock. Not
Not a boulder
BOUL.
rock.
I got you. Boulder. Powerful.
Right.
Well, Carrie, this has been such a great conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your wisdom with us. And I do have two final questions before we wrap. So if listeners walk away remembering just one thing from this conversation, what do you hope it is?
Yeah, I hope it's so you just get out and try something. I never knew what goat could become or what still is yet to come for goat. But it's just something that has really meant a lot to me, has getting me out of my comfort
Comfort
shell
comfort zone?
zone.
Zone, we're zoned.
comfort
Or
zone
your tortoise shell.
or your
Yes,
tortoiseshell.
we don't know.
And just try something new. Again, you never know if it's going to take off and be fantastic, or if you may need to work on it even more. But just try.
Great. And on a more personal note, what has it meant for you to share your story here on Unmute Yourself today?
Yeah, I just really appreciate the opportunity because I think more women need to hear that it's possible to do more than one thing at once. We think about, well, I'm just a mom, or I'm just working a career, or I'm just a caregiver for my parents, or whatever it may be. And there's a way that you can balance them all. It's hard, and we're all still figuring it out, right?
Right.
But trying to find a way to integrate the fun part of your life with the professional part of your life, it doesn't have to be one or the other.
That's great, Carrie. And how can listeners connect with you and go on a trip if they want
Yeah.
to? Yeah.
I'm on TikTok and Instagram at Girls Only Adventure Trips. And then we have a website, girlsonlyadventuretrips.com. Please reach out. Love to hear from you.
So exciting. Well, thank you so much, Carrie, for starting season 2 with so much heart, inspiration, and courage. And you've reminded all of us that courage doesn't like just happen in the office, right? It happens on the mountain in the moment when you say yes to something that scares you, just grow like a little bit at a time, right? So, to everyone listening, welcome to season 2 of Unmute Yourself. This is the year of saying yes. Yes to joy, courage, clarity, and to your own voice. If you loved this conversation, share, follow, like, subscribe, and tag us, and let's kick off this season strong. And until next time, unmute yourself and step into the story only you can tell.